This week on Boring Gear Reviews, we've got the slow LORIS from Non-Human Audio. Non-Human Audio was started by Dave Jordan, and they're based out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. His most recent release is the slow LORIS. This is a slapback delay pedal based on the PT2339 delay chip. If you've seen other videos of mine, you know how much I love the PT2339, and anything that comes off of it, I'm always very excited to see. In particular, slapback delay is one of my favorite ways to use delay. So when there's something very dedicated to it that approaches it in a super unique way, I'm into it. I'm all the way into it. For today's demo, I'm using my 2023 Black Bobbin Jazzmaster. And these have the Lollar Black Bobbin Jazzmaster pickups. So let's start with the most obvious thing, and that's how rad the pedal looks. He handles all the design work himself, and all of his pedals kind of have this very unique, handmade feel with this like splatter artwork and then the name of the pedal blocked out so the metal of the enclosure shines through. It's really striking to look at, and it has a super clean, minimalist design that I really, really love. This pedal comes standard with top-mounted jacks and DC, and we just have one bypass switch. Obviously, it's going to control whether the pedal is on or off, and then two controls. The top control is your blend, and that's going to control the mix. It's never going to be completely dry, so even if you turn it completely counterclockwise, you're never going to be completely rid of the delay signal. So there's always going to be a little bit there. And then when you turn it all up, not only does it go, I don't know if it's exactly 100% mixed. I'm not sure. It sounds rad, whatever it is, but there's also, when you crank it, there's going to be like a little bit of a tonality change. It seems as though like some of the high end rolls off a little bit, and there's also like this kind of mid push. It's great. It really adds to this kind of lo-fi feel when you crank the blend all the way up. And the next knob is a control knob, and this is going to do a few things. It's going to set the overall stability and addition of lo-fi artifacts in the pedal. So if you turn it all the way counterclockwise, you'll get as close to a kind of clean, traditional slapback delay as you can. And then as you turn it up, you're going to introduce more instability. So the harder you pick, it'll respond dynamically. The harder you pick, or the harder the input signal is, it will start to have like some pitch warble or some vibrato. And then the further you crank it, more and more kind of lo-fi artifacts are going to get introduced. So this is absolutely not a typical slapback delay. This adds a ton of character. It's not just going to exactly mimic what you put into it, and will really, really take you to areas where you're going to play different and play with the pedal. You're not playing on top of it, and it's not kind of taking over what you're playing, but it really does bring you to a place where creatively you will explore new areas with it. Super exciting. So for this first clip, we're going to be using the Model FET for kind of a light drive signal. If you would like to see my full demo of the Model FET, click the link up here. And then the slow LORIS is going to be as traditional as it'll go. So I'm going to roll off the control knob all the way. So it's going to be as kind of a tight of a slapback as you'll get. And then the blend knob is going to be around noon. Slapback delay is one of my favorite all-time effects. And if you want to use this as like a somewhat traditional slapback delay, this would be the setting to use. Alright, so for this next clip, we're going to increase the gain by using the model FET and then the glass palace after it. If you haven't already checked out my demo of the glass palace, you can do so with the link up here. The LORIS is going to be at the end of the chain, and in this case, we're going to max the control and have the blend around 1 or 2 o'clock. In the first section, you'll hear some lighter playing with the volume rolled back on the guitar, and you'll really hear kind of the warble and all the lo-fi kind of chewy goodness of the LORIS. And then as I turn up the volume, you'll hear how it responds with high gain. Because the slow LORIS is very dynamic, it will handle both of those signals differently. So it's really nice that you're constantly surprised by this pedal. You know, oftentimes with delay, you know, if it's a digital delay, it's gonna just repeat exactly what you did, which is great. But in this case, you get something different out of it than what you put into it. And so it's super, super fun, and it really is engaging and exciting to play with. All right, so for this next clip, we're gonna put the slow LORIS between 2 drives. At the front, we're gonna go back to the model FET, and then after the slow LORIS, we're gonna have the Old Blood Noise Endeavor screen violence, just the distortion side active. To see my full demo of the screen violence, go ahead and click the link up here. And we're gonna set the slow LORIS with the blend around 11 o'clock and the control around 10 o'clock. In the first section, I'm gonna be using the rhythm circuit of the Jazzmaster, and then I'll turn it off and use the bridge pickup, and so you'll hear the differences there. Enjoy. Okay, and in this last clip, we're gonna be using the glass palace again. For the first section, I'm gonna have just the boost side activated, and then in the second section, I'm going to turn on the primary drive section, so it'll be like a much more distorted tone. And that will be running into the Old Blood Noise Endeavor's Dark Star. For a full demo of the Dark Star, go ahead and click the link up here as well. So here we're gonna be using the pitch algorithm with the mix all the way up. So this will give us more of like a synth pitch pad type of thing. So you're gonna hear the signal of the Dark Star first, then the slow LORIS will go at the end of the signal. And here we're gonna max the blend knob and dial the control around 2 or 3 o'clock. This is where you'll really hear the difference of with the pedal off and on. Once it turns on, you'll hear all of this really gorgeous kind of gritty, warbly, broken kind of lo-fi vibe come in. So in the first section, we're going to be using the boost only, and in the second section, I'm going to engage the primary drive section, and it'll get much more distorted. At the same time that happens, we're going to turn off the reverb of the Dark Star so it gets a little tighter. And overall, you'll really see the tremendous amount of character and movement this will apply to any signal. For me, this setting really helps show how versatile and the many uses you can have for the slow Loris, other than just slapback delay. And that'll do it for the slow Loris. As you can see in here, this pedal is super unique. It's a very fresh take on a very classic and traditional effect, which in and of itself is really exciting. I love when a piece of gear allows me to explore different aspects of something I thought I already knew. So from this, you can do very traditional slapback delay. You can get really, My Bloody Valentine wall of sound thing happening too. And you can do basically just use it as a kind of a lo-fi pedal at the end of your signal. I'm a big fan of this pedal. The second I plugged it in, I immediately put Velcro on it and put it on my board. It's that good to me that like the second I turned it on, I knew that this was going to be like a permanent stay. So if you're into non-traditional approaches to traditional effects, I highly recommend you check out Non-Human Audio. Links in the description below. And if you're interested in any of the other pedals or gear I've used here, you'll also find those links down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're enjoying this content, please feel free to leave a like or comment or hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week for another video. Peace.